Hello everyone, this is DavidViadel23 and welcome to the Man Dragon's Cave. Today we're gonna be talking about Blackbeard. This is one of the biggest, if not the biggest, antagonist of the full One Piece saga, One Piece manga. So I want to talk about this character because I think we are getting close to the end of the story, and as you see, if you are following the main storyline, I think he's slowly getting more importance. He's gonna be the final challenge for Luffy to be the Pirate King, and at the same time, just do it a little bit bigger. At the same time, we have this kind of questions about this character. What is he gonna be? How can he have multiple fruits? How is he stealing the fruits, etc. So I think my idea for Blackbeard, obviously we have been revealed information about the Kurohige lately, and we know that they represent the planets basically in the solar system, and the Luffy is representing as well Nika, that it will be the sun, God's son. There's a lot of references as well to Moon in the whole Wano story, and one of the important pieces that we are missing for this whole puzzle is, in this case, Blackbeard. Blackbeard, as you all know, he has the fruit of darkness. He's a darkness man, and he's been using it during the whole story since he encounters Ace and everything. And what we have seen is that there's one specific attack that he normally uses called Kurohige in Japanese. Kurohige in Japanese is black hole. So I think in this whole space scenario and the planets and the sun and the moons, etc. So he should be representing a black hole, a Kurohige, and he's kind of the problem in common for everyone. So the discord all the time in this scenario. So he's gonna kind of swallow everything like black holes do, and spitting it maybe somewhere else, etc. So what we know, I'm gonna do the head here. I'm going for the concept from my favorite Blackbeard, I think, is from when he fights Ace in Banaro Island, that he's trying to track Luffy after the first increase in the reward and everything, and but he finds Ace finds him first, and then he says, "Oh, you're looking for my little brother, so I'm not gonna let you escape from here." So basically, that's the fight that is gonna create all the main story about Marineford, etc. later on. I want, with this character, with this drawing today, to define him, yeah, obviously, but how his darkness and this power is crazy. I want as well to do maybe some infinite darkness going up, so it's going kind of outside of the frame that we are drawing. It's gonna be kind of disappearing. It goes really nice with the character. So, well, today what I want to talk about basically is about the power. So, Blackbeard, since the very beginning, has darkness fruit. We have this power as a very dangerous and difficult to understand power. It is paramecia, but everyone thinks that it's logia. It behaves in a different way. So the problem comes when in Marineford he steals Whitebeard's fruit, and now, as we know, he has double fruit. That's a problem. That's a problem from everyone. It never happened. When we are in NES lobby, Jabura from CP9, he explains that if a user, a Kuma no Mi user, fruit user, goes close to another fruit or eats another fruit, this will this will explode. The two demons inside will fight, and they will explode. The body will explode. So we know this kind of lore, this kind of mysticism about the fruits, but then Blackbeard comes and actually he eats or he acquires a second fruit. Okay. I've seen theories flying around the internet about Blackbeard and the powers, and I think before Blackbeard joining Whitebeard, he already had a fruit. I think this character represents Davy Jones with the whole, as well, culture and mythology and mysticism of pirates. I think he represents the ultimate bad guy, that it will be Davy Jones, and all the treasures go to him, and he's kind of the strongest, and he's the fearsome and everything. So in this case, his flag, his skull flag, it's as well a 3-head design. And we know, and there's been a lot of speculation about being 3 people in the same body, or 3 brothers, or always with the number 3 in mind. So what I think is happening here is that the Kraken, I think he's gonna be the Kraken. The Kraken, the octopus, and everything. These types of animals have 3 hearts, and I think these 3 skulls are representing the 3 hearts of the octopus. I think Blackbeard since the very beginning had a mythological fruit like Luffy. Probably instead of sun god Nika, this probably is gonna be sea god Davy Jones or Kraken, and having that fruit, it allows him to have 3 fruits, because the heart, one that he already has, one that he gets with Whitebeard, that is the darkness, and a 3rd one that it's the one in Marineford from Whitebeard. So what is happening here at the moment, let's do the leg, yeah, the leg here, one leg here and the other one here. What is happening at the moment is you imagine Blackbeard transforming into this mythical creature, sea god Kraken, being gigantic at the same time, with the legs of this Kraken hitting everywhere, with earthquakes, with his fruit from Whitebeard, and at the same time spitting a lot of darkness, swallowing everything, that it would represent the ink in the calamari and everything. So taking these kind of creatures from the underwater realm and the mysticism and the legends of the pirates, it will make sense for me that he's kind of shown later on to have this fruit. I think I want to do this leg maybe a little bit closer, like, because Oda is always as well, I like to do that as well, exaggerating the designs, that they are more comical and more shape based, like circle, like we have a circle to start and then the legs here. So basically I've been thinking about this for a very long time, since the very beginning, when they explain that this character had 2 fruits, and what could be the power, and if he was gonna be the final enemy for Luffy and everything. Obviously he will be, and it will be really kind of poetic and everything, that you have the sun and you have the darkness, like when he fights Ace, he says exactly that, the sun against the darkness, who is gonna win this battle, and then he ends up winning, and we want to see kind of that rematch with Luffy at the end of the story. So I think we know, it's not that I think, we know that Blackbeard is a trickster, and he's been always showing this kind of opportunism when finding the fruit, stealing it from Sachi, then when leaving the crew, when trying to find Luffy to gain a position as Ichiukai. So we have a lot of scenarios, and then in Marineford, when the fight is over, like a coward, like it will be like a pirate, you know. He's one of Oda's favorite characters because he's, I think, him and Boogie are the most piratey. So obviously, in the opportunity, he comes and he steals the second fruit. So I think he's gonna keep doing this the whole time. I think as well he's gonna show up now in Egghead and he's gonna be probably taking one of the Vegapongs. At the same time, if you see my previous theory, my previous videos, I'm talking about him showing up, Vista showing up. That Vista from Whitebeard, I think, is in his crew. Check out my other video. I think he's gonna be Zoro's last challenge, and I think he's gonna be end up taking Saturn, probably Kizaru as well, with him kidnapped, because they are gonna be inside bubbles. I think Sanji's gonna put them in bubbles, as I explained in my previous videos. So this opportunity, he's not gonna lose this opportunity, and probably he's gonna proclaim himself like a big boss now that he's Jongo and everything, and maybe even execute, publicly execute Saturn, so everyone can actually fear him more even. Every single step that he does is for... It's not like Luffy, that Luffy is growing exponentially. He's growing a lot in every step that he does is just to grow. So I think, let's try to focus a little bit here to do this massive nose that he has. And then this, I love this character. I think Oda has done really great with this enemy, and for the final saga and everything, I think it's gonna be crazy, the fight. So let's see. We can do this part. Just 1 second, I want to... And then the face is like, it's opening like this. Like that. We do a short beard that he had at the beginning of the story. I like always more this design. Now it's really cool as well, but for the drawing I wanted to kind of pick this one. And the eyebrows and the eyes. He's a really mismatched character as well. You don't see balance. All the eyes are always different. The teeth is always different as well. You have plenty of different images. If you check the manga or you check the anime, that he has different teeth. So for now, we're gonna do the one from Bonaro Island, that he had 1 teeth there, and then 2 here, and then the rest here. And we will paint as well the inside in a second. Yeah. And this goes black to do this, like this. Yeah. He never shows the ears, if I remember correct, so we are just gonna go and do this kind of afro hair that he has. I always imagine him, my Blackbeard in my mind from Pirates stories and books, it's always been kind of a piratey looking, like I don't know why, Jamaican, massive Jamaican guy. I know a guy from there that is like that, and it always reminds me to this character. But if you read about original Blackbeard as well, was a English guy. So yeah, I think Oda plays a little bit with both ideas for this character. So this is very, he has the hair like this. I wanna make it like it's kind of floating because the power. Later we will do the little bit, no background, but the effect with pencils for the darkness. And yeah, let's see. Yeah, this I think is looking quite nice. So as I was saying before, I think soon in Egghead, probably Elbaf. At the end of Egghead, he's showing up, 100% sure, because the ship is there, and he's gonna take the chances to, in my opinion, kidnap Saturn and later on execute him. His original plan was to ask the Gorusei and the government to become a member of the kingdoms. We don't know why, but he wanted to be that. I think as he did with the Shichibukai to have access to Impel Down, I think this time he wants to have access to the Reverie, so he can actually go to this frozen room that we have, this frozen straw hat that we don't know what is it. And because if you think about it, he is confirmed to be interested in history and archaeology as well by Oda in one of the SBS, like Nico Robin. So, and he's really clever person. So I think he knows more than he says, and I think that's gonna be the plan. But if going to Egghead, his good luck, his destiny, that he's always talking about destiny and fate, it is as it is been until now. He will get Saturn. Probably he do public execution, some kind of bargain or something with the government, so he's able to access this frozen room anyway. So yeah, I think it's looking nice like this. Let's carry on a little bit with this, and he is really hairy. So we're just gonna do the chest side here, but focusing in the head. I think the ultimate fight for the One Piece is gonna be Blackbeard, and at the same time we're gonna have him triple transformed. Is gonna be this massive Kraken. If there's plenty of color spreads and SBS and covers that when we are talking about Blackbeard in the story, when Blackbeard is showing up, when there's always references about him, coincidentally we always have references to octopus or calamaris, and I think it's very interesting, and you don't see Oda doing things randomly like we've seen lately with the Gorusei as well, all the information that they are dumping about Gorusei, and I think it has a correlation. There's as well a color spread. I think it is that the episode is Blackbeard, I think, in Impel Down, and you have this octopus wearing this type of bandana hat. It's like a flat cap that he was wearing when he was a kid, and he joins the Whitebeard crew, and I think people has been talking about it a little bit as well. And yeah, let's do this side here. I'll do the arm on both sides. Totally sense. We have a lot of things about Surume is the massive kraken that we see in Gyujin Island, and they talk about that the Tsurume comes from a cold place in the north where he has the brother there, and etc, etc. And then we have confirmation as well that Blackbeard comes from a cold place. We don't know exactly where, they haven't been explained yet, but it's from a winter island. And there's a comment as well about Luffy in Drum Island. In Drum Island he's introduced because he's the one who attacks Drum Island before Luffy arrives. That's why Wapol escapes. So Luffy says, oh, it is said that the winter people don't sleep, or don't sleep much, because they would die if they sleep. And what do we know from... sorry about the changes of the light, I think I'm still learning to do these videos, and sometimes... what do we know from him? That since this flashback with Oden is in the story, Boggy is talking with Shanks and he says, hey, you know that guy there with the hat, he hasn't been sleeping for 3 days. And then Marco in the war, he says as well, we all know that Blackbeard is special, so there's something weird about him. I don't think he's gonna be from another race, except for to be, you know, I think it's more about the conditions of his original fruit. And basically the fingers, 1, 2, 3, and then these ones a little bit more open like this. Like he's gonna attack. Yeah, the arms are hairy as well, here and there. And this part as well. There's a lot of talk about the back fight and Foxy being the saga less interesting, and a lot of people asking if they can skip it. A lot of people saying if actually that's important, or it's maybe just a feeling, no? That some, you know, all the time from manga, when they do the animes, they do these feelings. You know that I like to do this kind of flat shoe instead of the big ones, so I'm gonna go for the same idea with this, like this. So I think that saga is gonna relate to this character, and this character is gonna, I think it's gonna challenge Luffy, or it's gonna challenge more than one people. Maybe I think a battle royale is gonna happen soon with Shanks, maybe, and it's gonna be involving this, because if he's truly connecting to Davy Jones and the Kraken and all of this story, the Davy back fight comes from the same kind of mythology, that everything goes to his locket. And to be honest, it will make sense for me that he can gain something from this type of games instead of fighting in a pirate way, in a trickster way, like Foxy, without having to do an effort. I think it will be really typical from his character, and for me it could even be one of these moments that because of this we see Zorro versus Mihawk, or we see him taking other people to his crew that he doesn't need and they don't want to be there, like in the case like happened with Robin and Chopper in Foxy Saga. And his whole story with Davy Jones, it could be really focused with, this is gonna be like this because I want to add more texture like darkness, but then we will paint it like greenish, like he used to have this green color, green olive to to the trousers like this. But I wanna paint it nice so we have plenty of texture for later, for the filling. With the whole Davy Jones, I think maybe he can challenge, because there's no way, there's no actually power, in talking about power, there's no way that he can defeat Shanks. Every single time that he is shown in a screen, or Shanks is shown in a screen, this is the contrapart, and they are showing him as well. So I don't think, to be honest, that Luffy is gonna meet Shanks at the end of the story. I think what is gonna happen is that Blackbeard is gonna kill him before that happens, and doing so it will create more anger from Luffy towards his character, because he can't blame. We see in Impel Down that Luffy wants to fight him, but if you are honest with the story, he can't blame Blackbeard for Ace's death, because he was actually the one who was hunting. He said, oh, Ace has his own story. Should we go and save Ace? Oh, no, don't worry about him. He has his own story. He will be upset if I go there. And then the whole Marineford saga happens, and he goes there, and he tries to save him, blah, blah, blah. But, to be honest, this is the same. He can't blame Blackbeard because of that fight, because Ace chose to fight there. So, and even after that, he was saved, and Ace, because his character and his character development, he chose to stay back and fight and face Akainu, etc. And the thing is, I think they need to build more story with Blackbeard and Luffy, and this is gonna happen now with this whole Egghead story, and the kidnapping, and the Davy backfight, and as well, maybe even taking Nico Robin. I don't think he needs Nico Robin, but probably he makes a deal with her, and he goes with him voluntarily, because he's not taking chances. I think he got, at the moment, Pudding. He got Pudding to read the poneglyphs, because we know that with the third eye he could read the poneglyphs. And I don't think he actually has anyone else to do that. So I don't think he's gonna take chances about anything. He's gonna just basically kidnap everyone that he wants and have all the cards. He's a gamer. He likes to play like pirate by the pirate rules. So he's gonna have all the cards on his power, and Nico Robin is one of them. So most probably I could see her going voluntarily, because she knows something, or she can deceive him, because as well we have Aokiji there, and I think Aokiji's storyline is tied to Nico Robin 100%, and I think Aokiji at the end, it needs to end up dying protecting Nico Robin, and it will make sense for me if everything is tying to Blackbeard, now that we know that Aokiji is one of Blackbeard guys. So let's do here the details for the code. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I think it's only 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I think we're good. So I'm gonna be adding now a little bit of probably starting with the black, because it's gonna be the predominant tone in this drawing. And I used already the liner to do some of the dark areas, but I want to create maybe a little bit of different tones. I don't want everything to be completely dark, so we will start with yeah, we will start with this black tone in pencil because I want to create, I already had some dark tones here, but I want to define a little bit what it will be, different areas of darkness. So one of them being here at the back, more sketchy, like this. And then we will add a couple of tones more maybe, but for the time being, yeah, something like this. So I think Shanks is gonna encounter Blackbeard soon. He's gonna try to stop Blackbeard, but he's not gonna be able to. He needs to die. That will make, with the whole Ace story, plus maybe having to take Nico Robin, plus him killing Shanks, and I think Boogie needs to see this, and Boogie will tell Luffy what happened. And then you introduce as well Cross Guild with the whole story with these guys, because if not, there's not much connection either. So doing those things, doing those steps, I think is gonna create a feeling in Luffy of wanting to fight him really, really bad. So, and I think the detonant, the explosive part in this is gonna be Shanks. Shanks will never be able to return the hat. Probably Buggy is gonna take all this information, give it to Luffy, and from then is when Luffy is gonna want to fight him. We know as well that Puddin is on his power at the moment. That's a problem because Sanji, she's in love with Sanji, and Sanji is gonna want to save her anyway. So that's another important thing to take in consideration. And only for Pudding, Luffy will fight Blackbeard. Only for Sanji and Pudding. But if on top of that you add all these things, imagine the final battle that is gonna be there. Let's add some tones here to the face and to the neck, and I always like to do, as you see my previous videos, this. I don't want to paint the whole thing, I'm just kind of doing some details. So basically today's theory is talking a little bit about Blackbeard, and as you see, what do I think is gonna happen? I think he is a mythical creature as well, mythical god of the sea, like Luffy. In this case, this character is gonna be the Kraken, and like octopuses, they have three hearts. We already know that. I think he is gonna have the characteristics of this mythical creature, and he will have as well three hearts or three personalities even in one, because the whole story with the teeth, it may be that it's kind of multiple personality. The dreamer, the aggressive, and the funny one, that we've seen those three characters in him. And I imagine a final battle with a gigantic Kraken spitting darkness, creating earthquakes, fighting Sun God from the sky, floating and throwing beams, and kind of a fight between light and darkness. That all of these mangas, most of the stories, always like in fantasy, are focusing about these concepts of darkness versus light. So it can be very interesting, it can be very beautiful as well to see something like that in a screen and in manga. And I think it's building up. These two creatures, because we passed into the realm of fantasy and gods, gods from this mythology world of One Piece, and Oda is not gonna tone down the story. Oda is gonna keep adding more level up for Blackbeard, and fight for Luffy will be, being as well a fruit similar to his fruit, and being able to cancel the fruits as well. I think the fight and the interesting point is gonna be in that, and Kurohige doing a black hole to him and not letting him transform and sucking him, and maybe having to return him to the crew, having to return him to normal state or help him. This is a challenge. This is a challenge, and every possible scenario can happen here. So at the moment, let's go for the theory and of the Kraken and connect it with Davy Jones and connect it with the pirate mythology and the stories and tales. And yeah, I think this is getting really nice, looking really nice. We are gonna use a little bit of purple as well, maybe yeah, this darker tone, to do some of these kind of pearls that he has hanging there. Not all of them, because some others I wanna do like red. I always like these pistols that he is wearing as well, but he's not doing it at the beginning. He wasn't wearing that all the time. He was more like a wanderer, like a beggar, like a pirate without actually a story yet, and then they introduce more him as a piratey. So yeah, let's do this bandana on the head like this. We will add some like this, a little bit dark there like this, to make a little bit of volume here on the head, like in dark. But yeah, basically I'm looking forward to see what's gonna happen with Blackbeard. I want more about him. Every single time that he's on a screen, he's in the manga, is for an epic moment of the story, and I can't wait, to be honest. I can't wait to see what is he gonna be doing. And with this whole topic about the gods, Sun God Nika, the Gorusei, the fruits, what's gonna be him, are they gods, are they devils, demons, what is gonna be, he's gonna be a problem for all of them. So he's gonna be stronger, he's gonna be more dangerous, and he's gonna be trouble for government and as well for Luffy. I totally think that he is connected to Shebek, Roxy Shebek somehow. They will explain it further, I think, soon, when we have a flashback, because his ship, this famous, that is 3 locks, like really funny 3 locks, and they are massive. His ship is called the Saber of Shebek. That's basically the sword of Shebek. So as we know that Luffy is carrying Joy Boy's wheel and Roger's wheel, etc., and Dreams, this guy must be carrying Shebek's wheel, because all the connections that they are doing with that, and the connections with rocks as well. He was with Whitebeard, and everything is for a reason in One Piece. I think we're gonna swap for this thicker liner, so we can add some tones to the coat, because I want the coat to be differentiated from the background, and I don't want to paint it perfect because he's kind of flowing, so I want the character to have irregular, like I've done here as well, this kind of texture. We will leave this in this tone with the grayish, blackish from the pencil, but now the coat we do like this, like we did the other day, Kuma's design as well. Yeah, feel free to check out my other videos as well. I have some theories about Kuma, Bonnie, Vista from Whitebeard. I have some done as well about Bibi and Crocodile and the ancient weapons. This is one of my first videos. I'm starting the channel, DavidViadel23, the Mandragon's Cave, and at the moment I'm posting One Piece, but I will keep posting more other stories from other comics or series and books, etc. Soon. But at the moment I think I'm enjoying a lot this One Piece theories plus fan art, because it's been really juicy episodes these weeks and lately, so I'm enjoying it a lot. So we have this Blackbeard character. Endgame, I think the battle for to find Raftel, the battle against Blackbeard, final foe for Luffy, is gonna be after the whole story with the world government, after Imu, after Gorosei, after Revolutionary, and when those fights and that storyline is over, and then we are facing Raftel. And then in Raftel, probably we have a Royal Rumble, Davy back fight, kind of battle first. Probably Boggy is gonna be involved in that. Crocodile is gonna be involved in that as well. We want Kobe, Smoker, all the characters from the very beginning. As I always say, Oda planned this story to be for only 5 years, so all these guys from the very beginning are gonna be at the end of the story. So if all of these guys are Davy back fighting, organized by Blackbeard, who represents the Kraken, the Davy Jones Davy back fight, that could be really amazing. So some of the characters can jump from one crew to another, and we don't know what's gonna happen. It can be interesting. And then obviously he cheats, he takes control, he does something wrong. With that kind of game, he kicks out Boggy, he kicks out Crocodile, and whoever is gonna be there at the end. And then you have him against Luffy fighting, like proper fighting. Because everyone is matching up the characters. I'm not sure if we will have exactly matchups exactly like we expect. And I see more Van Auger, Usopp in Davy back fight to prove who is the best than actually fighting, shooting to each other from distance. In my mind, I don't know how Oda could do that, so I think maybe he goes for the idea of just doing a game of shooting, and like being a really hard and difficult game and importance, and something important is at the stake. Maybe Usopp needs to regain Robin, for example, or even Luffy, I don't know, because it can be really interesting that in the Foxy saga they said, oh, you can ask as well for the captain, and then kind of the game is over, or it's kind of the final thingy, and everyone was like, oh no, don't do that, don't ask for Foxy, no, we don't want Foxy in our crew. So I think maybe even Blackbeard can go for something like that, like, oh, I'm gonna request, I'm gonna ask, I win, I'm gonna ask to have Luffy, and then Usopp is the one who's gonna have to win him back, to have his captain back, and assume this role of Captain Usopp. At the moment he is Captain Usopp, and because all his lies become true, and that's kind of a duel of in this case sharpshooters. It could be really interesting. It could be really interesting, and I would love to see that. Set some details here, and we want as well to have maybe a little bit more of black, but it is looking really nice. I think we're almost there. Just want to add as well some details to this. Is a little bit darker, some details like this here as well, and these brown parts that I left for the hands and on the sides, let's erase it a little bit so it looks a little bit cleaner. Sometimes I leave it as I always say, sometimes I just erase it, and in this case, how we want the black and the darkness to have a little bit more of importance, it can be really interesting like this. So with the finer 0.2 liner, I'm gonna add just a little bit more of detail to the face, so it pops out a little bit. We do a little bit more of darkness, like he is possessed with this black magic, this darkness power. And I done as well the eyes like this, like crazy. I think we've done a nice character today as well, nice recap. Nice recap we've done about Blackbeard, about his powers relating to the Kraken, the earthquakes made by the Kraken, and the spitting of darkness, like it's ink from an octopus, like calamari, like giant Kraken, and the tongue here. We talk a little bit about him killing with treachery and in a bad way, killing Shanks, Boogie seeing it. This is probably close to the end of the story, and then we have there Buggy having to go to Luffy and say, hey, by the way, I know you love Shanks and he's your friend, and I never liked him. Well, Boogie's gonna reveal his true feelings about Shanks, that we've seen already a little bit, but I will talk about this in another video. But basically he's gonna say, hey Luffy, I'm sorry, but this guy killed Shanks and I think you are not gonna be able to return the hat. And then Luffy, I think, is gonna have a breakdown there again, kind of the last one before he fully achieves the mastery of the fruit, of the Nika fruit, to fight with Blackbeard in this case. It can be really emotional, really important for Luffy and the character, because everyone is waiting since day one for these two characters to reunite and return the hat. That's the promise. The promise is not gonna happen. There's nothing out there giving me the idea of Shanks reaching to the end of the story, and there's no place for him. Well, this is everything for today. DavidViadel23, DavidViadel23, you can say it as you want. I hope you like the video, and I see you in the next one. This is the Mandragon's Cave. Thank you very much. Bye.